Welcome back to the Real Estate 401k show. All the boys are back in town.
About time.
I'm Mike Weinstein alongside the longtime missing Justin Frederick and Ryan Gerdes. You're going to want to go ahead and text the word money to 623-AZ-RECON. That's money to 623-AZ-RECON because we are about helping you make money and build wealth in real estate, and we'd love to have that conversation with you. So, Justin, Ryan and I were back for the last couple weeks and missed the heck out of you guys, son.
Too.
Where in the heck have you been,
I've
dude?
been all over the place. So
like Johnny Cash.
yeah, we did. Seriously, we did 3 trips within basically a month, and started off in Santa Fe, New Mexico. Went over there and just wife's family reunion and did some wine tasting over there and walked around. That wasn't really my cup of tea. Cool place.
You're more of a beer and whiskey guy.
Yeah, for sure.
And non-family.
For sure. No, I love my family, for sure. I love my family. And then I had to do a Vegas trip for work, which we learned a lot of cool stuff, but that's beside the point here right now. But then we went on.
Who wants to talk about work stuff?
No, right
Work
now.
schmirk.
Yeah. 2.5 week RV trip, and it started off. We were forced to. I was forced to go to. I wasn't forced, but my aunt passed away, and so we had a memorial for her.
Man.
Thank you. She was 90 and had Parkinson's, real bad for the last 10 years. So it was kind of a blessing for our family.
Sure.
And it was good for her to be where she was at. She was having some rough times at the end. But got to reunite with a bunch of family that I haven't seen in a really long time in Kansas. And Kansas was much greener than I've ever seen it.
The hell do you do in Kansas?
Honestly, you drink and you party, and that's
you-
when
like
you're
drive
at college.
drive and chew.
I guess I need to put Kansas on the bucket list.
I've actually been through Kansas.
Yeah.
Well, I've been through it. I've just never stopped and spent time there.
Farm, ranch.
Right.
Yeah, that's what it's all about there. Farming and ranching. That's what most of my family does there.
That's cool.
So you had a crazy experience in Yellowstone. So you're
Yeah.
The goal was just to drive through it, and
just
and
see
I've
it.
never been,
Yeah.
but I hear you just don't drive through it. It's too massive, too beautiful, too much stuff to see that you just got to spend some time there.
So, yeah, we woke up in Cody, Wyoming, and we were gonna go just straight through on the east side and then come all the way down the south entrance. But I'm telling you guys, we drove through. As soon as you drive into that park, the world just becomes majestic. It really is. It took me 2 miles into Yellowstone. And I told my wife, I'm like, we're staying the night. We're going to find a spot here. We're going to stay the night here, and we're going to explore.
Do you have any problems with last minute? I mean, you're in an RV. I mean, okay.
We went to the first campsite, it was full. Second campsite said it was full, and then another lady grabbed me that was working, and she's like, "We got a spot. How big is your RV?" And they're like, "Yeah, you're gonna have to disconnect your trailer, but you got a spot. Perfect." So we stayed there. I mean, there was buffalo. We were eating in our RV, and there was buffalo walking right next to the RV while we were eating, and my kids just thought it was the coolest thing ever.
Heck yeah.
Sure.
And we saw moose, herds of buffalo, huge herds of elk, which you just don't see that anymore. Moose, coyotes.
Do caribou make it that far south?
I didn't see any caribou.
Okay.
But the land within that park is truly like nothing I've ever seen. It's our forests here in Arizona just don't do any justice to forests. And I always thought they were beautiful until I saw, and they're still beautiful, but it's just it's a couple other levels.
Did you guys go do Old Faithful and all that
We
fun
did,
stuff? Okay.
but Old Faithful was our last thing that we saw. Some of the canyons and the waterfalls in Yellowstone are incredible. They're lakes. They're
You know how some things, you hear about your whole life, and you and not on purpose, but you build it up in your mind.
yes.
And did Old Faithful deliver, or were you like, okay, this is cool, but it's like I went.
It's cool, but
last
it's-
summer. I went to Niagara Falls. It was amazing. It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
But it wasn't as big as I thought.
Really?
And I mean, it's big, but it wasn't like what I thought, and I felt like it didn't live up to my own expectations.
So I think the coolest part for me was nobody really gave me any expectations on Yellowstone before I went there, and I've watched like National Geographic stuff on TV, and I've seen it, but pictures just don't do justice for places like that. And so when I went in there, I didn't have this high expectation, and I was blown away.
But Old Faithful itself, that's what.
Old Faithful itself, it was cool, but it wasn't that cool.
That's what. Yeah,
It's
that's
like,
what.
the show's over now. Okay, I guess
But
we'll go home.
and I think the majority of that piece was how commercialized it was. There was thousands of people stuffing in this area to wait for it to erupt, and the parking lot was madness. There was just people everywhere. Now I was there on July 4th week,
so there's
so that probably
There's
didn't help. But it was still cool. And there's one thing that I didn't know was there's about 900 geysers in the world, and Yellowstone carries I want to say 500 of those 900 geysers.
Sweet.
So there's geysers, even though there's Old Faithful there's other geysers like that you can see from Old Faithful, and you could walk around. So
Well, and that's why
pretty cool.
they are estimating or predicting one day we're going to have the mega earthquake
Yeah.
with the epicenter in Yellowstone is going to wipe out half the United States. I'm looking forward to that.
Wah, wah, wah.
Well, not only can we help you build wealth in real estate and talk real estate, but we are also travel guides, apparently. So if you want to learn how to build wealth in real estate, and really, this is, we tell stories and the things that we're able to do, and a lot of it just comes to our efforts and our risk tolerance and our ability to invest in real estate, and would love to help you on that track. All you got to do, especially if you like money, is text the word money to 623-AZ-RECON. That's money to 623-AZ-RECON. And we'd love to have a chance to speak with you and help you grow your real estate portfolio or help you start your real estate portfolio. So Ryan and I, we talked about it a couple weeks ago. We talked about his Airbnb up in Homer, Alaska. And we had actually quite a bit of response on our reels and all that stuff that we do out on the social media space, and a lot of people are like, yeah, Homer's the best place in the world. And dude, you were talking about views, you're talking about forests. Ryan gave me the opportunity to go and rent his place up there in Homer. Dude, I told you, I walked into his place and I texted him and I'm like, I know you know this, but this place is absolutely amazing. I mean, the house is beautiful. The lot's beautiful. You got the trees, you got the bird, you got everything around. But his place sits on a hill, right? Mm-hmm. And you're looking out the main window, and it's a big frickin' window. And you see the bottom of the hill, you see the bay. And then on the other side of the bay, there are these mountains with this massive glacier. Mm-hmm. I'm sitting there reading my book, looking up and just staring at a glacier. And it doesn't get dark. So it's 1 o'clock in the morning, and I'm still staring at this glacier.
As peaceful as it is, it's distracting.
Yeah,
You're trying to cook, you're trying to read, you're trying to do something. You're like, God damn, that's cool,
Yeah.
And like because of the tides and the weather and the season and whatnot, the picture changes every day. It's obviously still the same landscape, but there's just every single day there's a little variation of what you get to see, and so it's that's my little slice of heaven up there, buddy.
Cool.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Oh man, and I'm just telling everybody that's listening to this, I know you're booked up for the summer, but Ryan's got an amazing Airbnb up in Homer, Alaska. If you like to fish for salmon, and because we caught a bunch of salmon, we caught some. I'm not gonna say massive, but I fish, so I can exaggerate because that's what we do.
Right.
Yeah.
The biggest halibut that you've ever
The record.
seen. Dude, I love, the size of these cods that I brought in were amazing. And then the rockfish, I haven't tried it yet. I haven't cooked it yet, but everybody's telling me these rockfish is really where it's at. And if you are looking If you love to fish, if you love nature, you love to hike, you love to do all of that stuff, I'm telling you, text the word Homer to 623-AZ-RECON. That's Homer to 623-AZ-RECON. Get on the list. Get the link from Ryan. And I am telling you, it does not suck.
No, it's a good time, man. We're going to go back in September.
All right, I'm in.
Yeah. Yeah. So, well, we try to book in the
See how
summer.
see how he just ignored that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I said I'm in, and he just moved right on, right on.
Well, I got my Airbnb on the market June 1st.
In Munns?
Yeah, in Munns.
Okay, let's talk about that.
Yeah, I was so blown away, guys. First month we broke even, and we just got it on the market June 1st. So it was slow to start booking at first, but then it just booked out. And we're already booked through. I think
we have a lot of
September.
listeners nationwide not familiar with Munns Park, what that means to the Phoenix area. So talk about what that is, and then I'm telling you, it's a great place for people to say, "Hey, I'm coming into town."
Sure.
Especially during the summer, I need a place to stay. I want to go into the mountains.
So it's 18 miles south of Flagstaff, Arizona. Flagstaff is your bigger city up north there. I mean, you got the NAU College up there. Sedona's just south of us. It's a 13-mile bird fly from the house, from the cabin. There's golfing all over the place. It's wooded area, forest area. We're just on top of the rim, probably 5 miles, 6 miles back from the top of the rim. So it's a forest area. Just a quiet, peaceful little town. There's about 3,000 homes there, so not a ton. A couple of little bars and restaurants there, but yeah, people tend to like to go there because it's kind of the middle ground between Sedona, Flagstaff, Williams, some places that you'd like to see over there. But I didn't expect to get as booked up as we did.
And my Airbnb's in Queen Creek.
Yeah. It looks like we're going to net about $2,000 for July.
Let's talk about that, Ryan. I think that'd be a good direction to take this conversation. And so Ryan's got an Airbnb in Homer. Text the word Homer to 623-AZ-RECON. Justin's got a place up in Munns Park, so go ahead and just text the word Munns to 623-AZ-RECON. But let's talk about the advantages of finding a place, a great second home, a place that you want to use as a second home, be able to make those memories with your family or get out of the weather or whatever the case is, but then also leverage it and use it as an income-producing property. It's really, you get the best of both worlds.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how deep in the weeds you want me to go, but it was about 7-8 years ago we fell in love with Homer, and we just quickly realized that this is where we want to vacation and then ultimately spend our summers once the kids are grown and no longer interested in hanging out with their parents. So we bought that place up there a few years ago, and there was a pretty decent learning curve, just understanding how homes and how Alaska works. Obviously, I know the business of doing short-term rentals and leveraging, et cetera, but just kind of getting the crew together, because it is a very, very small town. I think there's only like 2 or 3 stoplights, and so it's remote. But we got some really good people, cleaners, handymen, managers, etc., that are helping us run the business up there. And so when you go, you truly feel like you're getting like a full experience, and you have. Yeah. We can get a masseuse over there. You can do cool. Private charters. You can do guided hunts. You can do anything and everything that your mind can think of that the Alaska wilderness could offer. We have a connection for you on that. So that's been a game changer for us for that. But we lost a little bit of cash the first year, and then the second year did pretty good. We profited probably about $20,000, and then this year we're gonna do way better than that.
And even at the end of the day, I think even if you break even,
yeah,
that was our goal.
Yeah, if you could break even and have a second home someplace where you want to go, it's
for sure. That was our goal, was to just break even.
Because you got to budget the time that you're there, that you're not making money.
Right, yeah. And I'm not going to lie, we broke the Augusta rules, so hopefully the IRS isn't listening to this. But, we just love it there so much. We want to spend more and more time there. And but it's slating us for huge future growth, because by the time we truly retire, we're going to be way further ahead of the game than most people. Because I mean, we bought that one, gosh, when I was 39, and so now we get, when I like what at 60, 65, if I decide that I don't want to work anymore, that thing will be paid off, and we're going to have a heck of a lot more runway to do whatever we want to do and spend as much time as we want to up there.
And I'll just end with this. So, we're obviously talking about building your real estate portfolio. We're talking about leveraging locations where you would like a second home, and then how to leverage it as an income-producing property during that process. But I think I think we need to explain to our listeners that regardless of where you want to do this in the country, we have a network. Our team includes some prolific real estate teams all around the country. Start the conversation with us, because we're going to give you the business side of stuff and the business aspect of this, and show you how you do it and how the numbers work and all the things. It's not even so much the numbers of what you need to do, and building your local team to support you. We'd love to have that conversation with you. All you got to do is text the word money to 623-AZ-RECON. That's money to 623-AZ-RECON.